The courses that the Ekaa Foundation offers are unique in many different ways. The course in hypnotherapy is promoted as an integrated clinical hypnotherapy course. What is integrated about it? When we look at the human system, the human mind, which influences our bodies and our lives, starts its operations by focusing on a thought. That thought, depending on our level of perception about it, produces an emotion. Emotions enter our energy centers in the body and affect our energies. And these energy centers in turn are looped to the endocrine glands in our system, and hence through those endocrine glands our hormonal levels and our entire physical health and bodies start to function. In classical hypnotherapy, the focus of a session is largely working through the paradigm of thought, which means we use the trance state to determine the origin of a certain thought pattern, and then obviously using regression therapy, etc., we sort that thought out, and hence the resultant benefits at the level of emotions, energies, and our physical bodies. That is classical hypnotherapy, and that is what is practiced globally across most institutions. In my 15 years in the field, I did figure out that not every person can get into that state purely through thought, because humans are not machines. Humans come in a variety of different states of awareness. Some of them are very clear about what they want in a session or what they want out of life. And yet there are others who come in the grip of very, very strong emotions and feelings. And yet there's a third category that comes for a session because he or she is very confused, or they have so many issues that they don't even know where to begin from. And there's a fourth category that just cannot relax in life. And common sense tells you that you can't use the same approach with thought with each of these categories. So in the Ekaa curriculum, what's unique about it is, depending on the nature of the client and the nature of the problem, we can define which of these states are we going to choose as a suitable entry point into the trance. We can work with thoughts, we can work with emotions, we can work with energies, we can work with the physical body. Each one of these entry points will still get you into the altered state of consciousness that we refer to as hypnosis. For example, for practitioners of yoga, yoga apparently is done at a physical body level. And yet you find that the reverberations and the benefits of yoga go all the way up till the way you think. It changes your personality. And for all those practitioners who work with Reiki or pranic healing or Sujog or acupressure, acupuncture, all these modalities are entry points at the level of the energy field of the human. And once again, a good entry at this level also results in a transformation of the complete system. Ekaa remains probably one of the very few, if not the only course that encourages you and trains you to access this system from any of these different entry points. And that is what is very unique about it. Now, it's been structured across 5 levels, each level representing a different facet of increasing magnitude. So the level 1 course, which is a basic introduction to clinical hypnosis, is a 2-day program. And in the 2-day program, we expose students, participants into understanding what the human mind is all about, how it functions, the basic principles that govern its working. We also understand suggestibility as a subject, which is how our brain codes language patterns, which in turn decides our personality. We also give students a very hands-on practice into learning how to induce the trance state, and then how to bring about behavioral changes with suggestive therapy, which means students are also trained in the 2 days how to formulate suggestions, scripts, which can then be placed in a hypnotic trance for a willing client to ensure change of behavior. Incidentally, hypnotherapy was the world's first known science for behavioral change, human behavioral change. And then we conclude the level 1 course with teaching people self-hypnosis, which means empowering students and participants to access their own subconscious mind and program it for whatever it is that they wish to achieve. That's how the level 1 ends. Which is interesting, and it's a beautiful mix of theory that involves how the mind works and practical work that involves the trance. One of the hallmarks of our curriculum is that everything that is taught in theory is also demonstrated in class, and not only is it demonstrated in class, we also ensure that students get a hands-on practice with it, because once you develop a muscle memory of doing something, you naturally get the confidence of being able to master it over a period of time. And we ensure that that happens in the curriculum itself. The level 2 course, which is slightly longer, 5 days, and it deals with the advanced hypnotic modalities for behavioral resolutions. And now we're getting into a few diagnostic tools that explain the key of human behavior. So in the module 2, we cover the different facets that govern the success of a hypnotic trance. We also cover the different variations that come up in hypnotic approaches. We teach people how to work with emotions through an extremely powerful technique called emotional management technique, which is the entry route into the trance state through emotions. We explain body syndromes, which is a correlation that involves the psychoneuroimmuno axis, indicating how different toxic emotions can get stored in different parts of the body, which naturally means that if you have a client coming with a certain ache or pain in a certain part of the body, using this awareness, you know exactly which emotion is stuck where, and that becomes the entry point to your trance, guiding the person into that space. We cover dream therapy, which is a fantastic subject by itself. We speak on stages of development, which is a psychological profile of the different attributes that we acquire as humans right from infancy till we grow old. We understand age regression, which means we explore the basic formatting of our inner hardware. We take people back in time in their current lives because that's where the seeds of dysfunction are sowed. We learn how to resolve it. And one of the most powerful things that you also learn in Module 2 is how to resolve fears and phobias. And most fears can be resolved in single sittings using circle therapy. So those are the highlights of Module 2. When you come to Module 3, which is again 5 days, this time we are focusing a lot on advanced modalities for health resolutions, and we are the products of the families in which we are born. So the first day of the program deals completely with human behavior and relationships. It's an extremely enlightening day in which we talk of the different personality types that drive human relationships, especially partnerships, and how the different combinations and permutations of character and choices determine functional or unhealthy relationships. Relationships between a man and a woman become the cornerstone of a family, so understanding relationships on day 1 sets us up for understanding family systems and family therapy. And then through that, we get a much deeper insight into understanding the different type of disorders that come with family systems. We go through a meta-medical model of understanding those disorders. We understand passive-aggressive behavior. We understand a little bit of graphology. And we conclude the 3rd module with a brief preview into an extremely mystical and yet deeply scientific process of past life regression. It's opening the gateway of consciousness to something that excites us all, something that we suspect, something that intrigues us. And yet Ekaa delivers this in the modicum of a scientific process that can be used beautifully to harness qualities of the past and, of course, breathtaking life resolutions that come up from there. And that's where the Module 3 ends. Module 4, which is a 6-day course, is labeled as Spiritual Hypnosis, and this deals with existence beyond the body. The different modalities that come into existence beyond the body, the concept of the higher self, understanding how to connect to the purest form of your consciousness, how to regress into past lives of talent, past lives of issue resolution, a much deeper understanding of karma, and then with it, even a deeper understanding of how you plan your own life and how you design your own destiny. And that is what gets covered largely in Module 4. And then Module 5, which is the last level of the Integrated Clinical Hypnotherapy course, is a summation of 8 days that takes you through working with the energy bodies, with chakras. You also learn how to work with attachments, with energies. We go through journey of consciousness. We do metaphysics of disease, which is looking at the human body completely through the paradigm of thoughts and emotions. We learn allergy management. We learn how to manage habits, smoking cessation, and then how to put all this back together in a comprehensive program that enables you and empowers you with different techniques to work with individuals who come to you seeking hypnotherapy as a resolution for life. In my 15 years of teaching and training this subject and the science, we've had people from different walks of life who come in. Of course, on the one hand, there are professionals who come in to learn this because it's a much deeper and a sharper form of psychology. So we do have students of psychology who come in, we have students of psychiatry who come in, we have students of the counseling profession, the medical profession, the paramedical profession, who wish to take this up as a career. I've also had people from different walks of life who do this just to not only understand their own life, but to be able to transform it into something magnificent, into something spectacular that they would love to do for themselves. I've seen people go through career shifts with this. They come in to study this for themselves and they'll end up becoming therapists for others, because one of the most joyous moments in life is to assist a person with a problem that he or she cannot resolve, and to see that divine spark in their eyes when a session goes well. Believe me, it's absolutely outstanding stuff. People also do this just for themselves, to make peace with their lives, understand better, and then if you understand your life better, you can obviously drive your car on a highway at the speed at which you wish to drive. In my opinion, every human on earth must know how their mind works, and the Ekaa curriculum is a great entry point to do that.